to actually have the book in hand and to know what this is going to mean to people. It was really important to us to make sure that we had a lot of women in the story. It's a place where traditionally there just hasn't been enough. And there's no excuse for that because we have a lot of sources. Some of our best diaries and letters and autobiographies and accounts that we have to draw on are from women. And so we worked really hard to make sure that women's voices and women's stories and women's perspectives and experiences were included in the book. There's no way that this church could have survived and thrived the way that it did without women and without women's contributions and women's involvement. And we've tried to show that down to the nuts and bolts of women's contributions to temple building and moving and establishing the church.
There are challenging topics in anybody's history and in the history of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And Saints doesn't shy away from those topics. There's no reason to be afraid of them. Every person's life has problems, challenges, setbacks, sins. We just want to tell an even-handed, true story, and we have great faith that it'll speak for itself. It's full of power. It's a story of redemption. Receiving the ordinances of the temple and being true and faithful to the covenants is the story of all Latter-day Saints everywhere. It's the quest. In any great story, you've got a protagonist who's on a quest to get some goal, to have some change happen in their lives, to be different at the end of the story than they were in the beginning. And the way that story is in the restored gospel is that ordinary folks, ordinary men and women, try to become saints through the Savior's atonement by making and keeping the covenants of the temple.
My job is to make sure that you don't fall asleep while reading the book. My job is very much to take the history, take the story, and structure it in a way and write it in a way that is engaging and interesting to the average reader. One of the important things about Saints is that it is a narrative. And by that we mean it uses the techniques of storytelling to make sense of the past, to make sense of the chaos and the messiness of the past. And we chose that because people connect with stories. Stories are extremely powerful. There is enthusiasm. I come to work every day excited to work on this project.